Right. Let's talk about central angles and arc measures that go with those central angles in more detail. Okay, what is a central angle? It's an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle. It is an angle with its vertex at the center of the circle. The degree of the arc that is formed by the central angle is equal to the angle itself. So for example, over here off to the side, we have angle ABC. Angle ABC opens up to arc AC. They are going to have the same measure. Okay? So we have 84 degrees for angle ABC. That means arc AC is also going to be 84 degrees. So 84, 84. All right, a couple things to keep in mind. Some things that are going to make a comeback are vertical angles. Remember that vertical angles are congruent, and we're going to see a few of them today. Straight lines, they add up to 180, specifically diameters, you guys. You want to look for diameters because a diameter will cut a circle in half. Then you can make it into two 180 pieces. Two pieces that are 180 degrees each. Hey, do you guys know what a full circle is? Like the degree of a full rotation. 360. So the sum of all central angles is 360. We'll have to use that once today. But yeah, central angles. Okay. So, here's the thing. The problems that we're about to go through, they're not going to match up exactly with this type of problem on the homework. It's not like a one-to-one kind of matching up situation. I'm mostly going to give you tips and things to look out for, kind of like ways to look at it, like the pieces of a puzzle. So just keep that in mind, that it's impossible to give you identical problems. It'll have to be a little bit of problem solving on your end, okay? So if I have a circle, some things are labeled, right? I'm gonna go ahead and match the angle with its arc. So if that's 87, that's also 87. If the arc is 72, then the angle it opens up to, or that opens up to it, is also 72. So right away, we have an angle arc situation. And I'm going to zoom in a lot on this one so you guys can see very clearly. Okay. If you see two diameters, they cross. This is a chord, and it crosses through the center. And another one, we have vertical angles. And vertical angles, when we learn them in the past, they are equal to each other, which means that angle 72, and then this arc will also be 72. All right? Okay, so that's one way to identify if you see a vertical angle. You would use it like that. Another thing we can use, I'm going to use a blue highlighter. Where can I get a blue highlighter? Is that blue? I don't think that's blue. Hold on. Now, sometimes you're going to want to darken or highlight one diameter. In this case, I'm just going to do one of them. And you could pick any of them. I picked WU, but you could have chosen SV. So you can use your pencil to make it darker so that it stands out, essentially cutting a circle in half. Okay, so that's what you can use a diameter for, is cutting a circle in half. And you guys, what's the measure of a semicircle? 180 degrees. It's half a circle is 180. So that means from here to here's 180. If I take away 72 from 180, I get 108. So if that's 108, then this is 108. Any questions on this? So half a circle, 180. Same thing on this top half. This top half has 1, 2, 3 pieces on its arc. So that means if I take away 72 and 87 from 180, so in your calculator, you would literally do 180 minus 72 minus 87, and you get 21. That means this arc is 21 degrees, and its central angle is also 21 degrees. So now that we have all the arcs and angle pieces, we're going to go ahead and find these answers. Okay, here we go. Measure of angle UXV. UXV. What measure am I tracing? What's the measure of this angle, folks? 72. Arc ST, there's 2 letters, which means we're looking at a minor arc. So it's not ST, it's ST. It's not all the way around, it's the smaller one. WV, it's not this one, that's too major. We're looking at the smaller one, WV 108. TW, so not this TW, this TW, 72 and 21 together, that's going to be 93. TVW, okay? If I go this way, W's last, right? Oh, I'm hitting W too early, so I have to go the other way. TVW. TVW, which means I have to add 87, 72, and 108, which is going to come out to be 267 degrees. Okay? All right. So the 2 things we used in this diagram was we identified vertical angles. That helped us get a few measures. And then we did the diameter, cutting it into 2 semicircles, using 180 to find the rest. Okay, let's move on to this next one. I see 2 diameters, SQ and TR. We'll go ahead and use that in a little bit. You guys, what's this? It's 90. But before I do that, I know I have vertical angles right here. Vertical, vertical, they're the same. These are 2 central angles, which means that their arcs, the arcs that belong to them, are also the same, 19, 19, 19, 19 degrees. Okay, folks, that's a right angle. What's the measure of a right angle? 90. So if I do 90 minus 19, yeah, 71. And so the angle and the arc will match. Okay, you guys, you get to choose. Do you want me to use diameter TR or SQ? Someone just gets to pick. SQ. Let's go ahead and use this one. I'm just going to highlight it, cutting my circle in half, which means I'm going to just look at it 1/2 at a time. This one's, the top part's pretty crowded, so I'm just going to look at the bottom one first. Folks, this is half a circle. A semicircle equals how many measures? 180. So if I do 180 and I take away 19, I get 161. Arc, angle, match. They are the same. Okay, and that's everything on that bottom half. Let's look at the top half. Oh, you guys. Same thing. 180, take away 19, take away 71, and you know, we actually get 90 and 90. All right. PQ. Arc PQ. SR. Oh, that's too big. So I'm going to go SR. And the reason why I know I want the smaller SR is because we're using only 2 letters. SR, 161. QRT, that's a major arc because it uses 3 letters. So I want to make sure that it's going to be more than half the circle. QR, oh, nope, T comes too soon. So QRT, 19, 161, 19, 199. Together, they make 199. PSR. Not this way. This way. PSR. So it's 90 plus 19 plus 161. That's going to be 270 degrees. And lastly, PS. PS. Arc PS uses only 2 letters. So if I go this way, that's too big. Okay, if you use 2 letters, it has to be less than half the circle. So I'm going to do PS, this one right here, 109. Because 90 plus 19, 109. All right. So here we did use vertical angles, we used the diameter, but we also used the fact that there's a 90-degree angle to find 71. We actually did that first. All right. Any questions? And it's like a puzzle. You might do it in a different order than I did, but I think you have to do the 1919 first. Okay, let's throw in some algebra. All right. So, here's what I can do. If I look at this diameter, right? I have 2 diameters. I have one here and one here. If I look at just this half of the circle, how do I find this arc, you guys? Yeah, if I do 180 minus 103 for that, I get 77. Any questions there? So I didn't darken anything because I'm not going to land on that diameter. What I can then do is then do this. Oh, that's not the right side. I can do this. Split the circle in half like that. 77 and 15 and 18x minus 2. What should all of those add up to? Because this is half a circle. 180. Yeah, they should all add up to 180. So I can do 77 plus 15. So I'm starting here. 77 plus 15 plus 8x minus 2. Sorry, 18x minus 2 is equal to 180, which is a semicircle. Okay, let's see. 77 plus 15 minus 2, that's going to be 90. Doesn't take that many steps, so we can do it all together. 18x plus 90 equals 180. Subtract 90 on both sides. We get 18x is equal to 90, because 180 minus 90 is 90. Divide both sides by 18. X will equal 5. Oh, sorry. So we used this semicircle and used the 180 right there. Okay. All right. So that's one way to do it, using the semicircle. Add it up, set it equal to 180. They're essentially supplementary, like what we used to do for supplementary angles. Okay, what if you have this? You have 2 diameters. So I have one here that goes through the center, another one right here. It basically is making these vertical angles, which means that this arc and this arc are going to be the same. They are going to be equal to each other because they belong to vertical angles. So if this was 60, that's 60. If this was 60, that'd be 60. So these two are essentially the same. So 8x plus 12 equals 10x minus 22. You just set them equal. All right. Okay. If we simplify this down, it's going to be, if I add 22, I'll get 34. And then subtract 8, I'll get 2x. And I'll get 17 is equal to x by dividing both sides by 2. Okay. All right. Flip it over. We have 2 more problems. 2 more. Okay. All right. I have 2 diameters. Can I use vertical angles? Well, I can keep copying this down, but if I set this equal to itself, it's not going to really do anything. So I really can only use a semicircle situation. So these two, together they make how many degrees, folks? 180 together. They make 180. So I'm going to do 5x plus 23 plus 17x minus 41 and set it equal to 180 degrees because they are a semicircle together. Okay, 5 plus 17 is 22x. 23 minus 41 is negative 18. Add 18 on both sides. Divide both sides by 22. And x is equal to 9. And that's one of the answers that they're asking for in the bottom. Okay. Here's what I want you guys to do, and I'm going to do this part quietly. I'm going to plug in 9 into this one and this one. Go ahead. This was arc JK, and then let's do arc LK. Hopefully you have your calculator. Let me just wipe this part out. You didn't really need to put it on top. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I plugged in 9 in for here, 9 in for here. You guys, the calculator could do all of this for you. So if you do 5 times 9 plus 23 in your calculator, you'll get 68. If you plug this in, you'll get 112. A great way to check your work is to just quickly add this up, make sure it adds up to 180, because if it doesn't, then something went wrong. Okay, so if this is 112, that means this angle is 112. We have a vertical angle situation, which means this arc is also 112. Sorry, there's a glare. Okay, if that arc is 68, its angle is 68. We have a vertical angle situation again. So then this arc is also 68. Given this information, go ahead and fill in the 4 missing answers on the bottom. Go ahead. I'm going to fill it in, and then I will reveal the answer. So try it, and then check your work. So arc JK, arc MJ, arc LMK. LMK. So that will be do, boo, boo. Okay, ready? Check your work. And we're almost done, folks. We're almost done. All right. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but every single problem we've done, number 1 had 2 diameters. This one had 2 diameters. This one had 2 also, and we used one of them. And then this one had 2, and we used both of them. And this one also had 2, and we used one of them. Do you see a diameter here? No. I think the problem is that a lot of times I'm emphasizing use a diameter, use a diameter. And sometimes when there's no diameter, students will go, diameter? And then they'll like darken this one. Even though there's a slight curve to it, it is possible to not have a diameter. Okay? So keep that in mind. Hey, what's that? 90. So that's a 90-degree angle. Hey, so then what's the measure of this arc then? Did you guys notice something in this picture? We have labels or something for every single arc all the way around. There's one here and here and here and here. All 4 arcs. That's a full circle. What's a full circle measure? 360. So I can do that plus that, 90 plus 8x plus this one, plus 21x minus 12, plus that one, and set it equal to what again? 360. All right, we'll take it nice and slow. Ready? So, like term, like term, like term. That's 29, 39. 39x. 90 minus 12 plus 9, that's going to be 87. Subtract both sides. 360 minus 87. Divide both sides by 39. X is equal to 7. So they asked for x and they want us to find 4 arc measures. I'm going to go ahead and plug them all in. I'm going to do that quietly. Okay, so VW. Volkswagen is 8x. So 8 times 7, 56. Okay, I'll be quiet. You just plug that into the calculator. And I know they didn't ask for it, but it is just like good practice to duplicate it for the central angles. I know they're just asking for arcs. But once you have that, go ahead and fill in the answers in the corner. I'll go ahead and do that off to the side, and I'll reveal the answers once I have them all in. Go ahead, try them. And if you make a mistake, the worst that happens is we erase it, right? No biggie. Just make sure to have an eraser. When you're done, check your work.